She didn't win her party's endorsement, but Republican Lisa Demuth plans to keep running for governor anyway. History shows that might actually work in her favor. In tonight's Good Question, Jeff Wagner explores if party endorsements really matter in Minnesota.
The dust has settled on another state party convention weekend. On the DFL side, you have Senator Amy Klobuchar getting the endorsement for governor and Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan for U.S. Senate. For the GOP, endorsements were given to Kendall Qualls for governor and Adam Schwarzy for U.S. Senate. So much work goes into landing this unique level of endorsement. But we want to know, do party endorsements matter? Good question. While they don't guarantee victory in November, they do come with some assurances. Larry Jacobs, a political science professor, explains.
The number one advantage for those getting the endorsement is the public attention. They also get resources from the party. This could include lists of voters. It could also include volunteers.
The latter of which Schwarzy was excited about.
And now I just went from a few hundred volunteers to 2,500 at the convention last night.
All of that support undoubtedly strengthens a campaign, but the party endorsement success rate, specifically when electing a governor, hasn't gone well.
That I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of governor.
It started in the 1980s when Democrat Rudy Perpich won the gubernatorial race without the endorsement. Republican Arnie Carlson would do the same years later. Jesse Ventura, the pro wrestler turned independent, needed no help from either party to be elected governor. And the two most recent DFL governors, Mark Dayton and Tim Walz, both won over voters in the primary and November, despite missing their party's endorsement. So why did those candidates find success without the full backing of their party, in combination of name recognition and experience? Perpich, Carlson, Dayton, and Walz were all successful politicians in the state prior to being elected governor.
They also had financial resources that made them quite competitive. They were able to mobilize supporters that had already been there for them.
Where the endorsement truly carries weight is down the ballot. Jacob says if voters don't know much about the candidates in the smaller races, they're more inclined to trust who their party endorsed.
When it comes to the bigger name, more competitive battles in the primary, in which there's money, there's advertising, there's controversy, that's when it opens it up, and the party endorsing process does not necessarily call the shots.
With photojournalist Ben Harper, Jeff Wagner, WCCO News.
Primary election day in Minnesota is Tuesday, August 11th. That is when voters decide which candidates will make it to the November ballot. If you have a good question for Jeff, you can email him by heading to WCCO.com.